A weak literature review is the #1 reason PhD proposals get rejected. A PhD scholar spends 6 months reading, only to realize they haven't actually written anything. They are downloading and drowning in a mountain of PDFs and have no idea what to do with them. How to connect them? If you are just reading paper after paper, you are working harder, not smarter. A literature review is not a book report. It's not a list of summaries. It is a critical argument. It's a strategic tool to prove you know the field and identify where your research fits. ResearchInfoZone welcomes you to the 4th episode of the PhD Proposal Roadmap series, From Idea to Defense. Today we are entering Phase 2, Literature and Problem Formulation. We've covered episodes 1 to 3 on proposal basics, research mindset, and topic selection. In episode 4, we are diving into how to conduct a systematic literature review, the foundation of your entire PhD proposal. Here, we will talk about an important step in PhD journey, conducting a systematic literature review for your PhD proposal. We are covering the 4-step review process, how to use Boolean operators to master databases like Scopus and Web of Science, and I'll share the secret weapon of every top-tier researcher, the synthesis matrix. Organizing papers using Zotero. Let's start with the basics. What is a literature review? A literature review is a systematic analysis of existing research in your field. A thematic synthesis that groups papers by concepts, not by author. A gap detector that shows what's missing. The biggest mistake new scholars make is treating a literature review like a high school essay. Author A said this, then author B said that. That is a summary, and it's effectively useless for a PhD. A literature review is not a summary of papers one by one which only states, paper 1 says this and paper 2 says something. A bibliography which just lists references. A book report describing every study you read. Here's the 4-step process. Step 1. Search. Define your research question like, impact of urban heat island on wheat yield. Create keyword combinations such as, urban heat island plus wheat yield plus India. Use Boolean operators and, or, not, to refine searches. Search available key databases. Step 2. Screen. Read titles and abstracts first. Keep papers that match your research question. Are from last 5 years. Are from peer-reviewed journals. Exclude papers that are too broad, example climate change without specifics, are from non-peer-reviewed sources, blogs, magazines, are duplicates. Step 3. Synthesize. Group papers by themes, not authors. Example of themes such as urban heat island effects on temperature, wheat yield and climate stress, North India agriculture studies. Within each theme, note what's known or common findings. What's contradictory where studies disagree. What's missing revealing gaps. Step 4. Identify gaps. End each theme with a gap statement. While urban heat island effects are well studied in metros, North Indian industrial cities like Ludhiana are understudied. Your final research gap comes from clustering these gap statements. This is systematic, not random, not guessing. A literature review is a synthesis. You are the architect. You need to take the ideas from author A, B, and C, and combine them to tell a new story. Use the funnel technique. Start with the broad theoretical landscape, the global context, then narrow down to the specific studies that lead directly to your research gap. You aren't just telling us what exists, you are explaining why your study needs to exist. You are not a librarian organizing papers, you are a researcher building a case. Pro tip for today: start with 10 to 15 papers for your proposal. Don't overwhelm yourself with 100 plus papers yet. That's for the thesis, not the proposal. Now, which databases should you use? For PhD proposals in India, use these databases. 1. Scopus with free trial or university login. Best for global peer-reviewed journals with 10,000 plus titles. Use for Recent papers of last 5 years with high-quality research. 2. Web of Science with university login. Best for citation tracking and influential papers used for finding seminal studies and checking paper impact. 3. Google Scholar, free. Best for broad search on all types of sources used for initial search and finding full-text PDFs. Tip: use, since 2021, filter for recent papers. 4. JSTOR with free trial or university login. Best for humanities and social science archives used for older theoretical papers, foundational studies. 5. ShodhGanga is free. Best for Indian PhD thesis database used for checking if your topic is already done in India. Tip: use advanced search with topic keywords. 6. DOAJ is free. Best for open access journals used for free full text papers and no login needed. 7. CNKI is free. Best for Chinese Asian studies if relevant to your topic. Priority order for proposals. Google Scholar, Scopus, ShodhGanga, Web of Science. Now, how to search effectively with Boolean operators. Boolean operators. And narrow search where both words must appear, like urban heat island and wheat yield, or broaden searches where either word can appear, like urban heat island or heat effect. Not exclude words like wheat yield, not rice yield, exclude rice studies. Keyword combinations. Use quotation marks for phrases like urban heat island, not urban plus heat plus island separately. Use asterisk for variations like yield, asterisk yields, yielded, yielding. Use parentheses for groups like urban heat island or heat effect and wheat. Example search string like urban heat island or heat effect and wheat yield or crop yield and India or Punjab. This searches either heat term and either yield term and either location term. Pro tip: start broad like climate change agriculture India, then narrow down urban heat island wheat yield Punjab as you get results. Here is the secret weapon, the synthesis matrix. Open an Excel sheet. On the top row, list the main themes of your research. On the left column, list the authors and the year. As you read each paper, put a check mark or a quick summary note in the relevant boxes. When you look at the columns of your matrix, you will see exactly what has been studied and, more importantly, what hasn't. This matrix is the bridge between your reading and your writing. It makes writing the actual review section almost effortless because you aren't writing from memory, you are writing from your organized table. It turns a chaotic pile of PDFs into a structured logical map. When organizing your research, you'll likely choose between two primary methods: thematic synthesis or chronological synthesis. Choosing the right one determines the narrative strength of your proposal. Go with thematic synthesis if you want to emphasize debates and patterns in the field. This method groups literature by key concepts, methodologies, or findings. It's perfect for highlighting gaps in the research, proving exactly why your specific study is the missing piece of the puzzle. Alternatively, choose chronological synthesis if you need to demonstrate the evolution of a theory or the development of a specific phenomenon over time. Use this when the history of your topic is essential to understanding the current state of the field. Ask yourself, is your story about the development of the field or the tensions within it? Pick the lens that best supports your research objective. Your literature review shouldn't just be a summary, it should be a runway for your research. The destination? A clearly articulated research gap. To nail the ending, move from the broad field to the specific deficit. Don't just list what we know, highlight what we don't know, or where current findings contradict, lack evidence, or fail to account for modern contexts. Connect your literature review directly to your research question, and you've built an undeniable case for your PhD proposal. Avoid these common traps to keep your literature review professional, concise, and academically rigorous. Distinguish between summarizing and paraphrasing. A summary condenses a large section or an entire paper, while a paraphrase restates a specific idea in your own words. Use summaries for context, but paraphrase to integrate specific evidence directly into your own argument. Watch out for citation duplication. If you've already introduced a source's core argument, don't recite it for every single point. Once the connection is established, keep your writing flow smooth by focusing on your analysis rather than repeating the author's name. The plagiarism warning. Even with a matrix, you must maintain your own voice. The matrix is for organizing thoughts, not for copy-pasting. The last 5 years rule. For a research proposal, 70 to 80% of the literature should ideally be from the last 5 years. This shows the DRC that they are working on current, relevant problems. Don't just dump your PDFs into a folder named PhD in Zotero. Use tags. What is Zotero? A free reference manager that saves papers with PDFs, lets you add notes and tags. Auto-generates citations in MS Word, organizes papers into collections. How to set up in 10 minutes. Download Zotero, free, from Zotero.org. Install Zotero MS Word plugin. Create collections for themes. Add tags to each paper. Add notes to each paper. Cite as you write in your Word document. Pro tip. Use Zotero's Similar Items feature to find related papers automatically. Result. You can organize 100 plus papers in 1 hour, not 10 hours. Your library should be a searchable database, not a graveyard of files. To summarize. Stop summarizing, start synthesizing by themes. Use Boolean operators to stop the noise in your search results. Build a synthesis matrix. This will save you months of work. Use Zotero tagging to turn your library into a searchable database. In our next episode, we are tackling the intellectual core of your proposal, formulating your research problem, questions, and objectives. If you get this right, the rest of your PhD becomes much easier. Comment what is the biggest challenge you face when searching for academic articles. I'll answer as many as I can.